welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real in the Kitchen. Today we are making stuffed tomatoes. This is one of the first recipes I ever cooked and I was like, oh, maybe I can learn to cook. I was like, I can do this. This sounds really complicated and special, but I did it, and this was like years ago, and then I stopped cooking, but I've started cooking again, as you can tell. So what you need for this recipe is we're going to make enough in this recipe for 5 beefsteak tomatoes. You want them big so you can stuff them. You're also going to need 1 cup of Italian style breadcrumbs. You're going to need 2 cups of cheddar cheese. You're also going to need some type of pre-cooked sausage. I'm actually using a turkey kielbasa, but you could buy any type of this kind of sausage. This is what you need to use. We are also going to use 2 cans of petite diced tomatoes. These have garlic and olive oil in them because it adds more flavor, and yes, I did drain these, and these are 14.5 ounces, so 2 cans of those. We're going to need some seasoned salt, and we're also going to need some Italian seasoning. So, first thing we're going to do is get into these tomatoes. So we're going to want to cut the tops off. Actually, the first thing you're really going to want to do is wash these tomatoes. Make sure you wash your tomatoes. Who knows where they've been, what they've seen, what they've gone through, the perilous life of a tomato. Wash your tomatoes, please. If you have a grapefruit spoon, this is a great use for it because it's a little hard without one of those. It's not impossible. But we're going to try to get to that outer edge of this and just kind of scoop it out the best you can. Now, once you scoop this out though, you are saving the insides. So we're scooping it out and we're popping it into this bowl. We're not wasting it. It's okay if they break a little. Sometimes that happens. I'm going to try to drain all the gloopy gloppy stuff out too. Do the same. Drain your gloopy gloppiness. You could stuff anything in here. Goat cheese, goats, mozzarella, provolone. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. And we're scooping out your innards. The more you scoop out, the more you get to put back in. So what I like to do is go through my tomatoes. I don't use every single piece of tomato. Sometimes I take it out and do something else with it. Some of my thicker or stronger pieces that I know aren't going to be very mushy, I usually pull that out as well. And then I'm going to drain all the juices out of my tomato. So depending on how much tomato you were able to salvage out of your actual tomatoes depends on how many cans you're going to need. I have about this much tomato in here, which is a lot, so I'm really only going to be using 1 of my cans of tomatoes. Sometimes the best thing for mixing is your hand. We're going to add some seasoned salt. I'm going to add just about, that looks like a teaspoon of seasoned salt. And we're also going to add some Italian seasoning. Again, just about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Okay, now we're going to dice up our sausage and get that inside into just little squares, little bite-sized squares. We just used half the sausage. Now we're going to take about half of this bag of cheese, so 1 cup of cheese, and we're going to mix that right inside. And now we're going to add those breadcrumbs right in here. You get that all mixed up in there. And now we're going to stuff these tomatoes, and when I say stuff them, I mean we're going to stuff them. We're going to get them filled as much as we can. I'm going to shove it to the side, left, the right, the front, and the back. It's getting all in there. We have more than enough filling to do that with. I like to stuff it with my hands. I always overflow them a little on top. Why not? And just lay that extra stuffing. I'm going to flatten that out so it cooks a little better. The next thing you're going to do is top each of your tomatoes with a little cheese. Some cheese all over these puppies. Alright guys, these are going to cook for 30 minutes at 375 degrees. Okay guys, here you have it. Those tomatoes have cooked all the way through 30 minutes at 375 degrees. Wow, they're hot. I'm going to just grab one, put it over there, and we'll see how it tastes. You can see how that cheese has melted just nicely on top. A piece of outside and a piece of inside. Actually, it's warm to a nice temperature. If you like tomatoes, I think you're going to love this. I like it with the sausage inside. It adds a nice flavor. There's good salt flavor throughout this whole thing. It's very good. But like I said, it's hard to get a lot of stuffing in there, so heat up that extra stuffing in the middle. That way you have it. You can just be like, extra stuffing. There we go. Alright guys, I hope you liked this stuffed tomato recipe. If you did, please share it with some friends. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and please make sure you subscribe and like this video. I will see you next time on Keeping It Real in the Kitchen. Bye.